All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We're excited to hear that you are interested in our trip to ancient Greece departing October 2025. My name is Crystal Hairston. I'm the Director of Operations for the Danville, Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce. And I have with me this evening Oliver Bergeron. He is the owner of CI Destinations, and we have worked with Oliver and his team since
15, 14.
2015. Yes, taking local travelers to wonderful destinations all over the globe. And, Oliver and his team, they offer um, a high quality trip for us. And we have many, many repeat travelers on our trips. And a lot of you are not new to this. And so we're excited to see so many familiar people joining us this evening. And I'm going to turn things over to Oliver, and he's going to tell you all about our travel to ancient Greece.
Thank you, Crystal. Thanks for coming out tonight, folks. I am just oozing with excitement. I've been looking forward to seeing everybody tonight all week. And before we jump into Greece, I mean, one of my favorite destinations, let me share with you a little bit of information about CI Destinations. CI stands for Chamber International Destinations. We only work exclusively with chambers of commerce across the country with their travel programs. Only chambers, folks. So we know exactly, the type of travelers that want to go on our trips. And one of my goals is just for you to have just the trip of your lifetime. And some things that make CI Destinations special is all of our trips are fully tour managed. And that's probably one of the most important elements of the trip is that when you land in Athens, right outside of baggage claim, you're going to be met by your own CI Destinations tour manager. She's going to be with you for the entire duration of the trip. And she's there to take this brochure here and breathe life into it. And what I love about our tour managers is, we've worked with them season after season, year after year. They are there for you. And they are there not only as your tour guide, but your own personal concierge. And it's their attention to detail that is really going to make this trip shine. Um, some other great things about our programs is our hotels are all city center hotels. We're always in the heartbeat of the cities that we're staying in. So that's very special. Now, with this program, we're going to unpack one time. That means you have the same great hotel for the entire duration of the trip, and you actually get to use the furnishings in your room. And one of the things I love to share with our travelers are little hints that might um, improve your experience. Go shopping your first day. Buy a case of water, some snacks, make your hotel room your home. And just knowing that you're going to go out every day to different cities and always come back to the same great hotel just raises the level of your experience. And I think that's one thing that travelers absolutely love. So that's a little bit about CI Destinations, a little bit about what makes our programs very special. Before I jump into the presentation, so this trip departs October 22nd. And for those who register by the end of March, you receive the early booking price of $38.99. After the 31st of March, the price does increase by $100. And I'll talk about how you register um, towards the end. So why don't we do this now? Let me go ahead and minimize this. Love you, Crystal, but I'm going to minimize the pictures. And we're going to focus on these images so you don't have to worry about looking at me. Oh my gosh, Athens. Here we go. Let's jump into it. We're gonna be staying in Athens for 7 nights. I call this a one hotel holiday. And we're staying in Athens. It's the capital of Greece. And the city of Athens has a population of over 3 million people. 97% of the people are followers of the Greek Orthodox religion. Now, Athens is so special. I mean, it's a modern city. It's romantic. Its streets are busy, and around every square, every turn, you're going to come across mythology, and it's going to come to life. And it's really, when I think of Athens and I think of Greece, the word that comes to mind is antiquity. It's like we're stepping back in time, BC time. Let's jump in here. So we'll be flying from Charlotte or Raleigh. We'll have that hammered out. Oh gosh, I'd say probably by May. And for those folks who have traveled with us before, we like to get you the best possible air schedules we can for our travelers. Now, this program, well, it's open to friends and family of the chamber. That means, if you have a friend in Orlando or an aunt in Sacramento, or maybe somebody in Salt Lake City that would like to join this trip, well, we can fly them from your preferred cities. They don't need to fly to Charlotte, from Sacramento. We can fly them from their preferred cities, and everybody will meet up in Athens together. So I mentioned tour manager. Here's a shot of one of our tour managers. And, they are there for you. They're there to make sure that at the end of the day, we don't have any travel regrets, and that we are going to see all the highlights that Greece has to offer. And there are a lot of highlights to be covered. So to keep the quality high, we've included what we call the Whisper system. Now, this is a wireless headset, and it allows you to hear your tour manager from up to 250 feet away. It's a great little device. Gone are the days where you huddle around your tour manager and you're saying, wait, what did she say? What is she talking about? What am I supposed to be looking at? That scenario is history. So with the Whisper system, it just elevates the quality of your experience. We'll be traveling via deluxe motor coach. And what travelers love what I love to hear from our travelers is, gosh, Oliver, all I had to do was pack my bag and make it to the airport on time. All the other details are taken care of for you. You never have to worry about renting a car or, mapping out your trip, where you're going to park, where you need permits and things like that. We're traveling via deluxe motor coach, and we're going to let the navigation, we're going to leave that up to the professionals. So in Athens, we stay at 4-star city center hotels. Just fantastic properties that are right in the heart of the city. We stay at we're actually holding 4 different hotels. We stay at the Titania, the Caliro, the Elia Imura, and the Athens Gate. All great properties, and the Danville group is going to be all together on their own exclusive coach while we're traveling through Greece. That is so, so special for you. And folks, if you didn't know this, Crystal's going to be joining the group, taking you along with it. So there's a lot to see and do in Athens, and it's easy to get around this ancient city. You'll see the shops, the markets, the restaurants, the cafes. Just a great place to call home. And knowing that you have your own tour manager, she's going to give you the guidance of, where the best moussaka is. And moussaka is like a lamb lasagna. She's going to give you the direction of where the best food is. And in the same breath, she's going to say, hey, this place down on the corner here, you may want to avoid it because it's more for the masses. It doesn't offer a real cultural experience. And the food in Athens, it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't think of another place in the world other than Athens. Like when you're walking through Athens and you're at a restaurant and you have a question about something on the menu, they'll actually invite you into the kitchen to see how the food is prepared.
Hmm.
So on our first day touring, it's going to be a great day. We're going to take in the Patriotic Olympic Stadium. This Olympic Stadium is entirely made of marble and was built for the first Olympic Games of modern time in 1896. Entirely made of marble.
Hmm.
So now, oh boy, folks, now we're gonna go and we're gonna take in the number one attraction in all of Greece, the number one attraction, and that is the Acropolis. And the Acropolis, that actually means upper city. So I'm gonna use my little mouse here. This is the entire Acropolis. And as you're going through the different cities on this itinerary, you'll hear the word Acropolis used quite often because every city has an upper city. But the Acropolis of Athens, this 10-acre rock rising 300 feet above the plains of Attica, is the number one attraction in all of Greece. And it's nothing, honestly, folks, it is nothing short of amazing. You know, this dates back to 432 BC. And what we're looking at here, we're looking at the Parthenon. But let me jump back. So when we go to the Acropolis in Athens, now keep in mind, you've got the number one attraction in all of Greece. The lines are going to be huge. Well, we're going to skip the lines because we've pre-purchased the admission tickets for you. And there's nothing better when you see a line of 400 or 500 people long and you're escorted right to the front. There's no better feeling than that. And people are wondering, gosh, well, what makes these people so special? And what makes you so special is the fact that the Danville, Pennsylvania County Chamber, they're partnering with CI Destinations, and both Crystal and I, we recognize that the biggest commodity in this trip, well, it's your time. And honestly, I don't want to waste a minute of your time in line when we can pre-purchase these tickets in advance. So, of course, we're going to take in the Parthenon, and it is located right at the top of Acropolis Hill. It was created between 447 and 432 BC. Now let's talk about walking for a minute, because the steps, these were the steps of the gods, and the gods, apparently they had huge legs because these steps are about 18 inches in height. So when you're going through the Acropolis, you want to have comfortable walking shoes. And it is amazing. I mean, you can start to feel why the word that comes to mind, antiquity. BC, it gives you goosebumps. And this is just the beginning of the program. We're also going to take in the Temple of Olympian Zeus. And this was created in 132. It actually took over 600 years to complete. And originally, it had 104 columns. Now, there are only 15 columns remaining. We're also going to take in the Temple of Athenia Nike. Now, this is also on the Acropolis, and it's been described as the most elegant building of the Acropolis, and it dominates the north side, overlooking a rocky platform built around 420 BC. 420 BC. I mean, think about it. United States, 1776, makes the United States just look like it's really an embryo.
Mhm.
We're going to take in the ancient Agora. Now, this was the area where all the markets would be held. And it was a thriving marketplace back in the day. And this is also right on the grounds of the Acropolis. So now you're starting to get the feel, well, gosh, it really is its own city. And it's known as the City of the Gods. Now we're looking at the Dionysus Theater, built in the 6th century BC. It hosted festivals all throughout the year, and the theater could actually hold 17,000 spectators. Starting 17,000 spectators in the entire city of the upper city of the Acropolis.
It's impressive.
I'm going to jump back. It is impressive. And when you're up on the Acropolis, of course, this is a walking tour. This gives you an amazing view of the city of Athens below, because you're at the highest point. And you're here, you're in the Acropolis area for, gosh, the majority of the afternoon. And what's next, this is really special, because now we're still at the Acropolis, but the Acropolis has the National Museum of the Acropolis, and we've included admissions to it. So again, you're going to skip the line, and you're going to be with your tour manager. And this really does tie everything beautifully together that we've experienced so far in the Acropolis. Now we're going to have some free time in not Constitution Square, but in the Plaka. And this is a historic little market district, very pedestrian friendly. And the Greeks, they are so kind and welcoming that by I'll say the second day of the trip, you'll start feeling the certain flavor of the vocabulary in Greece. You'll find yourself saying words like Kalispera. Well, that means good afternoon. So Kalispera to everyone this afternoon, folks. As we're going through the Plaka area, find some antique, great little eateries. We're also going to be taking in the Constitution Square, which is right in the heart of the city center. And right adjacent to it, this is pretty touching, is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And they actually rotate around this area on the hour, every hour, and they're wearing the traditional presidential military outfits. And it's the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So this was a great day. I mean, we've taken in this, the Olympic Stadium, the Acropolis, the Plaka. We have a good feel for the city of Athens and our relation to where our hotel is, because everything's so closely tied together. And for those folks who know me, one of my goals for our travelers is I really want you to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So this program, well, we have 2 optional trips, because some folks want to just enjoy their time in Athens. Other folks will want to participate in some other additional activities. So on day 4, we're going to make our way over to Delphi. This is about 100 miles away from Athens. And the entire city of Delphi, once believed the center of the world, is a World UNESCO Heritage Site. And the sites, well, they're nothing short of amazing. And to think that Delphi is considered the center of the world. And with this, you also have your tour manager showing you all the ancient ruins of Delphi, including the polygonal wall. And this is actually the backdrop to the Temple of Apollo. Now, these columns that you see here, they actually would support the Temple of Apollo. And here we are seeing the Temple of Apollo in ancient Corinth, in Delphi, built at 540 BC. These are called Doric style columns, and they came out much earlier than the columns of 320. You can start to feel like, gosh, I really am walking back in time, the time of the Greek gods. While we're in Delphi, we're also going to take in the Delphi or the Corinth Museum, and we've included admissions as well. Now, as we're going through each day, keep in mind that we have the whisper system, so we can kind of travel at our own pace. We don't need to be the shadow of our tour manager. We can be within 250 feet and still be able to hear the dialogue that she's explaining, so that we're starting to experience the culture. Not only experience the culture, but really experience the history, get a taste of the history. Yeah, today's a great day. As we leave Delphi, we're going to go into the beautiful seaside city of Aracovia. And this is nothing short of beautiful. And it's nice for you folks to know that as we're touring, what's the pace of the programs? I've been on tours where I say you're running and gunning. You're out the door at 7 and you're back at 8 or 9 at night. And by the third day, you are so exhausted, you can't really remember what you've seen because you've seen so much. Well, with CI Destinations, we truly have a perfect balance of structured tours and leisure time. And it's that gives you the opportunity to experience the cities we're touring, but then have some free time in the cities as well. And here we are in Oracovia. And this is a city that's really renowned for it's kind of funny, it's cheeses and it's ceramics. So grab some cheese, take it back to your room, make your hotel room your home. People always grab a little bit of cheese and crackers and pass it around on the coach as we're making our way back to Athens. And the next day, another great day. And every day of the program really is designed to be a little different than the day before. And today, we're going to cross the Corinth Canal. Right here. We're actually going to have a photo shot or a photo stop right here on the bridge so we can take a picture of the Corinth Canal below. And actually connects the Saronic Gulf with the Aegean Sea. And it's just over about 4 miles in length. And we'll be crossing the Corinth Canal, well, probably right around, I'd say, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to make our way over to Mycenae. And this is on a Peloponnese region. Absolutely spectacular. Now, Mycenae, this was a region that was fortified in the late Bronze Age. And it's actually located between two hills. This is what it used to look like. And this is the remnants of today. And this is called the Lion's Gate, actually, here. And it's the entrance into Mycenae. The Acropolis of Mycenae is right up here. This is the upper city. And this dates back to the 14th and 13th century BC. Now, right before we get to the Lion's Gate and go through into the city, we're going to see the treasury tomb of King Agamemnon. And it's also known as the Beehive Tomb. And it was constructed between 1400 and 1200 BC in Mycenae, Greece. And this is where King Agamemnon was laid. And this is the inside of the beehive tomb. Yeah, Mycenae is it's really amazing. So from Mycenae, we're going to go. This is one of my favorite seaside cities in all of Europe. It's called Nafplio, and it's a beautiful, charming uh, coastal town right on the water's edge. Here we are at the seaside promenade. And one of the things that makes Nafplion special is it's always protected by the Bortzi Castle, which sits right in the center of Nafplio's harbor. And this dates back to the 15th century. So this is much more modern. This was actually a Venetian castle. So we've gone from BC to the 15th century. We're going to have an included lunch, and meals are always a highlight, and it gives us a chance to come together as a group and share experiences, and also taste the culture. The food in Greece, it's delectable, and you will come away in love with their dishes and their wines. So before we make our way back to Athens to enjoy the evening, we're going to stop in the theater of Epidaurus. And this was built in the 4th century BC. Really, this was the theater and to host only religious events. Now, when I was there on my first trip years ago, I was fortunate to be. I was way up here in the nosebleeds area, just enjoying the scenery. And a gentleman walked down here and he sang Ave Maria. And the acoustics in this theater are nothing short of mind blowing. And you're going to be walking here, you're going to be stepping back in time. This is a great day. Now, the food is a huge part of the Greek community, as is the wine. So today we're going to have a combination of wine tasting, taking in some of the best vineyards just outside of Athens. We're going to learn how the wine's made, the ages of the grapes, and what makes their wines so special. We're not just going to do wine taste. I mean, look at this shot. This is a shot of our group, or some of our travelers, right, finishing a wine tasting. And this was actually taken in October. So it gives you a good idea of the weather you can expect. You should be in the mid to high 60s. And this is a great day. I was talking to one of my chamber friends out in Washington State, who recently did this trip. They did this trip in October, and Brent had been on. I'm going to say he's been probably on 8 of our different destinations, and he loves them all. And he said, "Gosh, Oliver, I've done all your destinations almost, and this was by far the best experience I ever had. And being able to unpack one time and venturing out every day is truly a gift." And I thought I'd share that with you because I was like, wow, for him to say he's been on some great trips. He's like, this was the best. That's one thing that Greece brings to the table. It's so exciting and so inclusive. So we've done our tastings. We've experienced another flavor of Greece. Now we're going to go back into history, and we're going to take in the Temple of Poseidon at Sunion. And this was constructed at 440 BC. 440 BC. Absolutely amazing. And The Temple of Poseidon is special because it's on the water's edge, and it is, the scenery is as beautiful as the ruins. All right, another fun day. Um, gosh, now we're gonna take in all the hidden gems that Athens has to offer on a walking food tour. Now, there's food tours in Santorini and Rhodes and Mykonos, but the food tours in Athens are the actual best food tours. Well, that's mainly because most of the Greeks live in Athens, and they have a taste that is just amazing. So we're not only going to have the luxury of having our tour manager with us, but we're also going to be having a gourmet tasting tour where we're going to get to have the edible delights of Athens with a docent as well. And you'll have the undivided attention of your own personal food expert. We're going to get to taste the traditional Greek coffee, and something that is accustomed to the traditional Greek coffee is the cups here where this is brewed actually is in hot sand. This is hot sand right here. We're going to get to go through the different markets, the different delicatessens, the wine shops. And by the end of the day, you don't have to worry about being hungry because you've just spent the last 4 hours snacking on some of the most delectable foods that Greece has to offer. And one thing that's always a highlight, you start off with the little donuts, and then you move to the quiches and then the gyros, and then wash it down with a glass of wine and some cheese. It is a great day. And when the tour ends, you may just continue eating your way back to the hotel. This is a great day. It's a walking tour day, taking in all the taverns and the shops, the delicatessens, all in the old market area. All right, so now a totally different day, folks. Now you see this map. We're going to take a cruise, and we're going to board right outside Piraeus, and we're going to go through Aegina, Paros, and Hydra, and taking in some of the most scenic islands in the Peloponnese area. You're going to fall in love with it. The boat size is usually like 400 to 500 passengers, and Aegina is going to be our first stop. It's 27 kilometers away from Athens, and we'll get to stroll through the streets of Aegina. Look how picturesque this is. And if you were doing this program on your own, you may not even know this is a possibility. And that's the beauty of having the tour laid out for you in advance. Again, those tickets, you're going to skip the line, walk right on the vessel, and you'll get to take in the courtyards, the trees, the flower-lined streets, Aegina, and actually get to experience, again, the open-air markets. And I like this shot because it gives you a chance to experience the culture, but it also shows you the attire to wear, resort casual attire. The weather this time of year, you'll be in the mid to high 60s. When Brent was there last October, he actually had 3 or 4 days when he was in the low 70s. So great traveling weather. We always go this time of year. One, for the weather, and two, for the crowds. You want to avoid Greece May through September. It's crowded and it's hot. So that's a little touch on Aegina. Now we're going to get back on the vessel, make our way over to Hydra. And Hydra's a charming little tiny island. And one thing that's special about Hydra that you're going to notice right off the bat is there are no cars on this island. They use around 500 donkeys as means of public transportation. And you can get to walk through the waterfront, which is the heart of the town. And here's a sample of the boat that we're on. And one of the things that I love, I love going into the islands, but I also thoroughly enjoyed relaxing out on deck, the scenery. And on board inside, they'll have local music, local entertainment while we're cruising through these islands. And then on our last little island, which is Paros, we're going to walk around the neoclassic buildings. You're going to get a much more modern feel than what we've experienced in the BC era of the program. And this town is kind of built in the shape of an amphitheater over two hills. And it is beautiful. You're going to fall in love with Paros. So every day is quite a bit different from the day before. And every day is really one of my goals, is really there for you to have a highlight and to think, gosh, we just experienced all that Greece has to offer. And tonight, we kind of blew through that trip, but tonight we're going to have a farewell dinner. And something I truly love about our farewell dinners is we start off with a meeting like this. Not everybody knows everybody, but by the end of the trip, we are all one big happy chamber family. And I am really, really thrilled and honored to be here tonight presenting to you guys, because I think of the places we've been around the world, and it gives me goosebumps of the experiences that we've shared together. We've gone from Ireland to Eastern Europe, to Tuscany, the Amalfi Coast, the French Riviera. Gosh, we're going off to Portugal here soon, and Greece in October. I mean, it's just amazing. And one of the things I tell my daughters is you can never have enough friends, and you meet the best people traveling, because we are all there to share an experience together. And one thing before I get too cheesy on you guys is, when you're traveling in Greece, you may not know everybody, but you're all from the same neck of the woods. And you start to learn that, gosh, this world is really a small place. So that's it for me. Let me jump down here in the chat and see if there's any questions. And in the meantime, I'll open it up for questions if anybody has any questions for me. Will the flights be direct to Athens? No. So we're flying out of Charlotte and Raleigh. We'll have a change of planes somewhere along the way, but there are no nonstop flights from Athens, from Charlotte or Raleigh. But for those folks who have traveled with us before, that I work really hard on trying to get you guys the best air schedules possible, and keeping the group together. I don't think we've ever had groups separated or anything like that. And but yeah, no direct flights. Sorry. And I got a wow in the chat room.
That was from me, Oliver.
So you need to have a valid passport. It needs to be valid for up to 6 months upon your return. And question in the chat is, airfare coach, business, or first? Airfare included in the program is economy. You can, and we can, purchase upgraded air. To give everybody an idea, upgraded air first class is typically $5,000 to $7,000 additional. Business class is typically $3,000 to $5,000 additional, and premium economy is typically $1,500 additional. And if you'd like us to work on upgraded flights for you, simply write that on the back of the brochure. Did my camera go off? I'm looking at the camera and I don't see me.
Yes, it did.
I
It's okay.
had all my fun facial expressions too. So
There you
yeah,
are.
just write the word upgrade on the back and which one you would like. And first class again, it's $5,000 to $7,000 additional. Business class, $3,000 to $5,000 additional, and then premium economy is typically $1,500 additional, and that's per person. How long are the flights? So the longest flight's going to be your connecting flight, whether it's like let's say Raleigh to Paris, which is about 6.5, 7 hours, or Raleigh to Amsterdam or something like that. Your international flight is going to be the longest, and then your connecting flight will be a couple hours. Can we accommodate food allergies for the included meals? Absolutely. And the secret there is communication, folks. Just let us know in writing um, what your food allergies are, and then we'll make the request with the airlines, the hotels, as well as the restaurants.
Awesome. Any other questions?
So
Well,
open to
Oliver,
friends and family of the chamber. Anybody can fly from other cities. If you are a single traveler, in Europe, single rooms cost more and you actually receive less, meaning it's a smaller room. The single supplement for this trip is $650 per person, and single rooms are limited. I think the hotel's given us 5. So if you want a single room, you want to sign up on the earlier side just to make sure you get this. How much cash do you advise to take? So I wouldn't take more than 500 euros. And you can use your debit card, your credit card overseas to simplify things. If you're watching the euro like I do every day, the dollar right now is very strong. I think the euros or the dollar's buying 95 cents of a euro, so you're getting a lot for your money. Last week it was buying 98 cents of a euro. It's getting really close to parity. So if you're watching it and it's very strong, and you want to buy a few euros from your bank in advance, don't be afraid to. But I don't travel with a lot of money. I wouldn't travel with more than 500 euros.
any other questions? And I just want to take this moment to say thank you so much, Oliver, for putting together these amazing trips for us. They truly have been very memorable, for our travelers and for our staff that gets to go. And we cannot thank you enough for the details that you put into all the planning.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. And we'll
Absolutely.
come up with a nice restaurant for you. That's a little secret down the road.
Yes, yes. Oliver has assisted us with things that have happened, last minute where we've had travelers that needed a wheelchair to get through the airport and different things like that. And so they really do go above and beyond to accommodate your needs for your trips. And that's why we have been connected with them and working with them for so long. They provide great trips and great opportunities. So, with that being said, if you are interested in signing up for the trip, you have received the application in the email that was sent out with the Zoom link. So you can fill that out and bring it by the chamber or mail it to the chamber at 150 Slayton Avenue, Danville, Virginia 24540. Or you can mail that directly to Oliver at CI Destinations. And Oliver, would you provide that address?
Sure, it's 1665 West Warner Avenue, Warner, Fresno, California, 93711. And I noticed another quick question in the chat. How many meals? So you've got a hot American breakfast daily. It looks like three dinners and three lunches. So it's very heavy on the meals, and also gives you some free meals where you can go where you want to go. And the meals are always a highlight.
Yes. And then, yes, there will be a local tour guide. So all of the tour guides are local to those areas that we travel to.
Handpicked.
And Oliver, in addition, for the optional tours, will you be sending out information to me on those
Yeah,
or?
I'll send it out to you, and then I'll also it's also included in their confirmation packets.
Oh, perfect.
But I'll email it to you so you can email it to people in advance if they'd like to see it. The optional tours run 195 per person. You don't have to sign up for those today. Usually before 130 days prior to departure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how many spaces do we have available for this trip?
I think we're holding 45.
Okay.
Now
So,
that doesn't mean we'll have 45. Sometimes
right,
it just depends.
right.
I would anticipate this one being very popular just because I mean it is Greece and it's amazing, and yeah, it's a good value.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, we will go ahead and wrap up for the evening. This call has been recorded. So if you have friends or family that is interested in the trip, just let me know and I'll be glad to email them the video.
Well, thanks for coming out. I'm excited to see a lot of familiar names on that list
Absolutely.
there. So have a wonderful evening, folks. If you guys need anything, you have my number. If not, it's 888-660-7397.
Yep. And just one last note, our chamber staff will be out of the office tomorrow from 12 to 2 for a ribbon cutting, and on Monday from 12 to 2 for a ribbon cutting. So if you stop by during those times, we will not be in the office. If you want to give us a call, you can. Also, I'll give my cell phone number. It's 276 340 9783. You can call or text me anytime. You guys have a great evening.
Have a wonderful evening. Thanks, Crystal. Take
Thank
care.
you. You too. Bye bye.